Aloha and Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center here on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. We present this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8 o'clock, and Zoom it worldwide to all of our Sangha members. And I'm Lama Tashi. When we do these classes, they're in the Tibetan tradition of Sutra and Tantric practice. And all of this is called the path or method of skillful means. Skillful means is an exception in all of the Buddhist tradition because it involves use of the imaginary process of your mind, which we use the term visualizing, and your ability to focus based on the tradition of accomplishing a peaceful state of relaxed awareness. And the whole program is all about loving kindness and concern for the well-being of all beings. We say sentient beings, animals, humans, and spirits. And also in great respect to our environment. So the environment we treat as a living being. And the elemental nature of the environment, which is the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space, is totally part of the practice in the same way it is in the Taoist tradition, the Sufi, American Indian, Hawaiian, and most of the cultures of the planet. So when we take into consideration these mind training methods, they're exceptional in their approach with what we call the Lama tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. And this all evolved from the Indian tradition of the Mahasiddhas, yogis and yoginis, that evolved from all of the teachings of Shakyamuni Buddha 2,600 years ago. And so it's an unchanged tradition over 2,600 years. So the methods change, but the reality of the worldly environment around it and the sentient beings in it and how we deal with that has not. And the class tonight is based on this path of skillful means, combining the Sutra and Tantric tradition in a method that I learned 42 years ago in, of all places, Hollywood, California. And this practice that we're going to do tonight was taught to me and others by the Dalai Lama, the present Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso. And when he taught this, he presented it as a sexual training in Tantra. And he opened up in a place where they give out Hollywood stars all their awards. And in that huge theater, he opened up on a Friday night. And it attracted about 6,000 people. And then he gave his presentation based on the tradition of Sutra and Tantra as how it's used in mind training, or what we call the path of skillful means, in the Sutra and Tantra tradition using deities, male and female deities shown in sexual union, as this tanka shows here. Now, this tanka was from a little card that he gave us at the end of the 4th day, all the people that were left, which is about maybe 300 or 400 was all that was left after 3 days of his giving empowerments to all of the deities used in this practice we're going to do tonight. And I was with Lama Rinchen and other Sangha members. And when I got back to Hawaii, I asked Lama Rinchen, what should I do with this? He says, don't lose that picture. Someday it'll be appropriate to give that instruction. It's called a dharani, which means a long mantra used for healing. And the dharanis that you're familiar with from this class are the Medicine Buddha, Prajnaparamita, and Manjushri. But the dharanis are usually used in practices, and the one that has the most is called the Nungne, which is a 3-day fasting retreat, and all based on the Chenrezig practice. So this is a similar method. And how it is presented is, all of what we're doing is called Bodhisattva training. And it's a path to direct realization. And the realization itself, in its simplicity, doesn't have a goal. It's just that now you understand the nature of your mind, and with the guidance of the Lama Guru, you learn how to use that. Now, this particular practice tonight is involved, and it's to stretch your imagination into what we call the 5 Dhyana Buddha families, which we have this chart which explains what they are, in union with the 5 elemental Dakini, symbols of representing the universe. So this is the outer world, this is the inner world. But in these practices on this path of skillful means, or Bodhisattva training, we bring all that together with the symbology of the deity. And it's incorporated in the practice many different ways through the meditation and visualization process. Based on that, the simplicity of the practice is the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, which is the basis of all sutra and tantric practice of all the deities of the path of skillful means, for all the lineages in Tibetan Buddhist tradition, evolving from India and originally taught by Shakyamuni Buddha. So for most of you, that's appropriate, just the mantra of Mani Padme Hum. For instance, here in Hawaii, when we go to our stupa, the 54 prayer wheels around the stupa, when we circumambulate, we turn those inside. It's just that mantra. The practice we're going to do tonight takes the mantra and turns it into what they call the path of power, to deal with extreme situations, not only arising in our relationships with each other socially, but also with the environment, the planet's environment. And in these times, the environment is so stressed by the activities of the human race that it's being decimated, is a good word. And in the process, we're losing a great percentage of our animals in the ocean, on the land, and so forth. And now it's come down to this tremendous increase in what they call viruses, which have been around forever, as long as there have been animal and human life. But they've evolved into a situation where we're greatly threatened and actually face extinction. as do the animal life on the planet. So taking all that into consideration, and with advice from my teachers, they said this would be a good time to present this particular practice. And I'll explain it as we go along. And we'll start tonight with refuge. And I put the symbol of the deity as the Dalai Lama explains sexual union is the male and female deities representing the inner world of your mind and the outer world around you, how these are totally interconnected. And based on unity, union, which is sexual union is symbolic of this state of unity. Simply what it means is there's no such thing as separation. There's no such thing as outside, inside, being separate. There's no such thing as a subject and an object existing separately. It even takes it as far as time. There's actually no such thing as time. Past and present are concepts. Future is a concept. And so forth. Or high states of being and lower states of existence. That's not possible. They're concepts, but they in actuality, they don't exist. So what we're coming down to is taking refuge with our own inner nature as a state of ultimate truth, based on the fact that the relative truth of our situation is not appropriate for many different reasons, but the main one is simply a complete distortion of the reality around us and our interactions with others and how to deal with it. So the first most important factor is this state of unity as applying what we're doing to all the sentient beings in the universe as the purpose of the practice. None left out. And it's the only tradition on the planet that we know of that has that as the motivation for all of what we do. So I'm going to read that. You have this. I'm going to read this in English and Sanskrit, say it in Sanskrit to start the refuge. It goes like this. In order to attain enlightenment, for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, we now, all together, take refuge and when possible, offer prostrations. So that motivation, offering prostration, simply means we go into action, various methods of activity, which this is one tonight, to accomplish that all of us together realize our true nature and how to use it. That's called maturity. And the term, modern term, is Buddhahood. So I'm going to read it one more time, then chant it in Tibetan. In order to attain enlightenment for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, we now, all together, take refuge and when possible, offer prostration. In Sanskrit, which communicates this to all the cultures of the planet and to the spirit world, it goes like this. Dagdang jowa namke thadang yampe semchem tamche tudine jute jisi jengchu ningpo lachi kibardu. Then we chant the refuge prayer in Sanskrit. Alden Lama Dampa Namla Chapsu Chio Yedam chokorgi latso nama chatsu shio. Sanjay chon dende nama chatsu shio. Dampe chur nama chatsu shio. Palpe gandum nama chatsu shio. Pao Kandro Shokyung Sume Sho Yesheki Shendong Dempa Nam La Chapsu Shio. In English, we go for refuge to all glorious holy lamas. We go for refuge to all the idams, the deities gathered in a mandala. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those who have conquered the mind and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. We go for refuge to all the noble Sangha, and we go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakini, who are the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All of these possess the mind of transcending awareness. And we take refuge in the actual practices or activity using this support of the three jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and the three roots of Tantra, Lama, deities, and protectors, to move us swiftly towards maturity in the human condition. So I'm going to read the Bodhisattva prayer. It's called Bodhicitta in Tibetan, in Sanskrit. Sanjay Chodam Choki Chodnam La Jengshu Pardu Dagni Chapsu Chi Dagi Jitso Jipe Sonam Ki Drolam Penjur Sanjay Jupar Sho. To the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through the merit gained from practicing the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines, called the 6 perfections, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Now, with those 3 together, we do the practice with the guidance of the Lama Guru, man or woman. And in our tradition, we see them all as appropriate teachers. But each and every one of us have different tendencies. Yes, we're all equal in this program. But because of tendencies from previous lives, each of us had different ways of being in the human condition. We call those propensities. And they follow like a shadow from life to life. And some of them are good and some of them are harmful. So these practices are designed to stress the good qualities that we have and amplify them and delete the negative or harmful tendency. And by doing that, you gain insight into your true nature. And that's the whole Dharma program, no matter what part of it you choose to use in your life and with practice. When we do the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines, that's the basis and start of what we call the 3 kayas of the foundation practices. And they start with our position just as we are, limited in a kind of a selfish way. Everything's about I, me, mine, and we don't have too much knowledge about the real reality of there being no subject, and in actuality everything's illusory, so the objects of our situation don't really exist. But we have, that's all called the Hinayana. And when the Buddha started the teachings, the Hinayana is the Hindu tradition. And up to a point, it was spiritually appropriate, but became disorganized through the I, me, mind, with no real guru to teach you that there's no such thing as a self. And this basic premise is called voidness. And what it means is if you identify as an individual self, you can't find a basis for that. It's simply a concept. Yes, you have a body. Yes, you have a mind. You're thinking. Yes, you have emotions, and so forth. But all of that is not who you really are. And so to find out your ultimate truth of your existence and how you should be, how you are appropriate, especially in the human condition, is the purpose of the practice. So we're going to start with one of the 6 basic Bodhisattva disciplines, meditation. And the meditation is based on generosity being the first discipline. Then that evolves into morality with ethics and good manners as the second. Then you have patience to accomplish those and evolve, grow, develop, and evolve into a mature human being and deal with all of the outer situation and the inner program of your own mind in the process. The fourth is diligence or perseverance in practicing these disciplines. The fifth is actually the most important, and that's meditative accomplishment or meditative focus, being able to single-pointedly keep your mind in one place or on one thing for long periods of time. When we add to that in our tradition on the path of skillful means by using your imagination so that you not only accomplish inside control, but also to develop what's appropriate in the world around you, outside. Then the fifth leads to the sixth one, which is combined in tantric practice, of insight into your true nature and how to use it. And that's where this practice tonight is very powerful. It speeds the process up into, instead of walking, you fly to wherever you want to go. But that's a way of describing it. Walking will get you there. That's Hinayana. Then riding in a vehicle or animal, that's Mahayana. That's the next level of the yana. And then taking a helicopter, Vajrayana. Then those 3 yanas or vehicles with practice evolve into the higher yanas of the Dharmakaya, which is the true nature of your mind being all-pervasive and how to use that, which is the Lama, that's called the Lama. with skillful means, which is called the Sambhogakaya, and the teacher being the example of loving kindness, compassion, power, and insight actually existing to guide you. That's called the Nirmanakaya. So these vehicles support each other, and every practice that we do supports every other practice. Every lineage teacher is equal to every other lineage teacher when it comes to teaching the Dharma. So sit with your back straight, hands in a comfortable position, on the knees or in the lap. Head slightly tilted forward, mouth closed, tongue resting against the palate. Eyes slightly open with a soft gaze into the space directly in front, about 2 feet in front, arm's length. Then bring your focus, your awareness, which all of us have, to your breath. This one function in the human condition is the difference between staying in the body or not, breathing. And it is spontaneous in its activity, and when one puts their awareness on it, it increases the results of that spontaneous process supporting life. So we start with that. And we're not the only tradition that stresses using the breath. Inhale, diaphragm expands. Exhale. And for a few moments, bring your awareness to just that activity of breathing. Then we start the practice of using the imagination in conjunction with the focus by imagining the air that we are inhaling to be white light filling our lungs. The energy passing through our body is called the absorption breath, the middle breath, and you visualize that energy be red light flashing through every cell in your body. Then you bring these two codes together and exhale blue light out your nose to space, making this a powerful connecting, healing breath to all beings everywhere. You visualize the sky, blue. Again, inhale white light, fill your lungs. Absorption breath visualizes red light flashing through your body. Both together out the nose is blue light to everyone in space, like the sky. This three lights prana yoga practice with the breath connects you to the three yanas as all one. Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana. Each represented by each color code. Then you bring all of those color codes together, creating a tiny particle of light centered in your chest, in the middle of your body, in the chest. And as you do this, you take your awareness, focus off the breath. Simply relax. Focusing in the heart area, you create what is called a bindu, or energy center. And when using this code of the three lights, you're actually connecting with that particle, as small as you can imagine it, similar to an atom, connecting to all the light throughout the fabric of boundless space. So you just relax. And use this contemplation of space as an application to all the methods used in this tradition. And this application to start the practice of space brings out the realization that your natural mind is all pervasive. And actually, in actuality, there is no boundary. Now we're going to start with this three lights practice and move into the 5 elements healing practice. And then from that, we'll move into the Chenrezig practice. For tonight. Focusing on the particle of light in your heart chakra, expand it to a tiny sphere or bubble of clear light. Then expand that slowly until it creates one of the 5 elements. And tonight we're going to use the element of air, gas, which is the main component in chi or prana. And it appears, as you expand that small clear-like sphere of light, it appears as a half sphere of green light with the lid, like this. And it's about the size of your thumbnail in the center of your, visualized in the center of your heart chakra, and you label it gas or air. This becomes the healing, excuse me, the healing symbol for this practice. When you can visualize it clearly in your heart center, imagine it to move out in front of your chest and up before your eyes about 2 feet in front. Keeping your imagination and your focus together, imagine it to expand inside of a large room that you can see yourself sitting inside. And this starts the healing process of this practice. Psychically projected into you and the worldly environment around you. All five elements are included, but we're purposely expressing the air element for practical applications of healing. Visualize it to grow in size to completely enclose the city, town, the large area where you live, or here we visualize the island of Kauai and surrounding ocean inside. Then visualize it to grow in size to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere inside. Expanded in size to completely enclose our solar system. Planets, sun, everything for billions of miles in diameter inside. Then visualize it to grow to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy. And all the life forms that exist in that area inside. Then move beyond the boundary of your conceptual mind to merge it with boundless space and relax. Contemplating the infinite light of boundless space. Then return with that nature by again incorporating the symbol of the air element, enclosing our galaxy. Shrink it in size to just enclosing the solar system. Smaller and smaller is just enclosing Mother Earth. and much smaller to just enclose the area where you are, a large area where you are doing this practice. Then all of that down to the size of the half sphere of green light with you sitting inside, just as you are. Then end the practice by bringing the symbol to in front of your eyes, 2 feet in front. Imagine it lowered to chest level and into your heart chakra. Reduce it to its original small size as a particle similar to an atom in the center of your heart chakra. Again, relax as that connects to the infinite light of boundless space. Accept this as part of your true nature. No meditation. Simply be present in this state of expanded awareness. End your practice by bringing your awareness to in front of your eyes and share it in the area of your practice room or wherever you are. One of the Bodhisattva training methods is to always dedicate the merit or virtue of your practice session to all living beings, which fulfills the purpose of the altruistic motivation we start the practice with tonight. Now, even though this is in the Hinayana tradition, and accomplished this type of practice through many traditions and cultures of the planet using the 5 elements, cyclically applied with symbols or with actual performance. This can be taught by anyone to anyone else. No special reference other than you have done the practice and based on your accomplishing good health through the practice you teach others. But when it comes to the path of skillful means, using deity yogas, then the transmission is necessary from a Lama who is doing the practice that is being taught. And that keeps it pure. And it also keeps it powerful. So yes, we have loving kindness and compassion for all beings as the basis of our practice as Bodhisattvas. But compassion and loving kindness, you need to have energy, power, to accomplish this in spreading it to others and the environment of the planet around you, your world around you, whether you're in a human form or not. So with this practice, the compassion, the power, and the insight are actualized. And that is Bodhisattva Training School. So when we use the Chenrezig practice tonight, it's to express that in a universal way. So it's for all sentient beings, all the animals, all the humans, and all the spirit in the entire universe, regardless of their negative and positive tendency, regardless of their accomplishment of mental and spiritual applications. So when we use the Chenrezig, the transmission comes from the Dalai Lama. And so to start the transmission, you see the Dalai Lama in front of you, life-size, as a representation of all the teachers of Tibetan Buddhism and all the lineages that go back 2,600 years. All of those that have evolved. It's all in this image of this teacher. Then to receive the transmission of this practice, using the seed syllables and the mantra called a dharani, and the application of the deities as the 5 dhyana Buddha fields, this is how you receive. And when you're open to this transmission, your body, speech, and mind quickly start to develop not only compassion and loving kindness, but power and insight of what this is in reality, in the reality of absolute truth, as an antidote to the reality of the relative situation we find ourselves in, and the situation of the world around us in present time. So this is like a remedy, like antidote or medicine, individually and collectively. And tonight is specifically applied to 8 billion humans on the planet today and all the animals and spirits that exist. Sit with your back straight. Visualize the Dalai Lama directly in front. From the Dalai Lama's forehead, white light comes to your forehead as the empowerment to be the deity in this practice. And there are 12 deities visualized. Male and female, 6 of each, in the central location of your physical body, and in each of the 4 directions and above your head, representing the 5 wisdom applications of the 5 dhyana Buddhas as the Buddha activity of all of those, being performed in present time, applied to all the negative situations, harmful situations we're experiencing today. The second empowerment is for your speech to accomplish the dharani or mantra of this practice. And each syllable of the mantra produces not only the result, but the deity. And I'll explain that when we start the practice. Then blue light from the Dalai Lama's heart center to your heart center is the wisdom transmission of all the practice of the Chenrezig in any form, not just the one we're doing tonight. In union with any of the 5 elemental taras. Then you visualize the Dalai Lama when you can see all 3 lights shining into your 3 places simultaneously, blend into you. They say like water into water, naturally. And in this way you receive the full transmission, not only body, speech, and mind, but spiritually. And this spiritual application is to produce higher and higher states of intelligence, they say realization, without any goal or ceiling. This is not a celestial projection. This is to take all worldliness and elevate it to its highest status of clear light. They say Ursel in Tibetan. You visualize the 3 lights as your body, speech, and mind coming together in your heart chakra through the sounds Om in the head, Ah in the throat, and Hum in the heart center. Then these 3 are the body, speech, and mind of the teacher coming down all together as one in the heart center, produces the vibration of free, which is the nature of infinite light as it is throughout our boundless universe of space. And we are creating the energy field of boundless light primarily of the Buddha Amitabha, which resides in the totality of everything, past, present, future, inside, outside, and so forth, as a state of awareness without subject-object dichotomy, without boundary, timeless. So we're going to say one mantra round of the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. Then we evolve from that into the dharani mantra of the 6 yavyums that we use in Mother, Father, in union, deity symbols that we use in this practice. So first, you just are the white Chenrezig with the lotus in one hand and a mala in the other. A free in your heart center. Looks like this. Surrounded by 5 colored light about the size of your thumb. Then light goes out to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and all people doing this practice, humans. Then comes back into the Shri in your heart center and you see yourself and all sentient beings as Chenrezig. You project it to your mother who created you. Then all relatives, fathers, friends, lovers, everybody you have karma with this life. Then all the billions of humans on the planet today and the uncountable number of animals, Chenrezig. Then throughout space, the four spirit worlds, infinite in number, Chenrezig. And when you have your mind filled with this projection of this mandala of light and light beings, as this ultimate state of awareness of your own consciousness, you say the mantra. It's projected into your heart center from creating this mandala intentionally with the connection of the Lama, in this case, the Dalai Lama, as your outer and inner source of accomplishment. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Agree. Then, having collected all sentient beings into your mandala, existing throughout the universe in present time, all arriving at this level of awareness of the deity Chenrezig, combining compassion, power, insight for your body, speech, and mind, is the mandala of this, the basic mandala of this Dharani, which we're going to perform. And we project this universally, not just to the situation of the planet today, how it is, socially in every way, environmentally, and so forth, but also in whatever situation is presented in any type of bardo or other form of existence, such as the spirit world, all the animal worlds and human worlds on various planets throughout our universe. And then all of those existing and past and future existences, all collected into one universal application. And so the central Chenrezig is now visualized in Yab Yun with red Tara, the Dakini of fire, wrathful. So he's the the spiritual accomplishment of method in dealing with the worldly situation, with the mala symbolizing Tantra and the lotus he's holding behind her back as compassion and loving kindness. Universally applied, but specifically in the human condition, because only humans can realize their true nature and how to use it. So that becomes the central you and the Dakini in union, Red Tara, Pema Kondo she's called. She is wrathful, which means she is in her most powerful mode to overcome any kind of negative implications from spirits, animals, or even humans. Then her sound becomes, his is Om Mani Padme Hum. Then her is Duma, which means powerful mother, protector mother, Dakini in Tibetan, Duma. Then you start to take this symbol of these two in sexual union in the same way that you visualize, for instance, Vajrasattva, and project them in front in blue. And this is the blue Bodhisattva. And that is the Buddha field of Aksabhaya. Then you project them, and that's the sound Gaia.
And that's both of them?
Yeah, both. Yavyum.
Okay.
So all you do is change the color code. So in the middle, they're red and white. But when you project them into the Eastern tradition and direction in front of you, they're blue. Then you project them, that's with the sound Gaia. Then Hara, you project them to the south in gold or yellow. Same Yabyum. Then behind you, he becomes red and she becomes white in the Western direction behind you. Then the color code changes to the north to green. Both of them are green. And so the mantra is projecting that's, so in front is Gaia.
Gaia's blue.
Blue. Hara, south, yellow. Nisa, behind you, red and white. Racha, to the north, green. Hriye, they're above you, both white. Okay, so what you have here is the 5 dhyana Buddhas in the state of Bodhisattva activity, accomplishing Buddha activity. Aksabhaya, Ratnasambhava, Amitabha, Amoghasiddhi, and Vairocana above your head. So you've taken these, this is how the Dalai Lama did it, and he gave an empowerment for every one of these deities over a 3-day period and an explanation of what their realm looked like, which I don't, with a lot of jokes and stories. Okay. And this one, he wasn't by himself, by the way. Trungpa Rinpoche was there, my teacher, Lama Rinpoche, was there. Many, many lamas were up on this stage with the Dalai Lama, all helping him with this and witnessing this empowerment. So these 5 dhyana Buddha fields are being actualized, which means action, to deal with all of the situations going on that are harmful on the planet today. Socially, environmentally, etc.
Can you say the combination around him one more time?
Okay, so Mani Padme Hum is Chenrezig.
No, the ones that you just
I'm
described.
going to. So this mantra, Duma is his consort, whatever color code. Then they're red and white in the middle. He is white, she is red. Then Gaia directly in front, they're both blue. Then Hara to the south, they're both gold or yellow. Nisa behind you, they're red and white. He is red and she is white. Just reverse of the way they are in the middle. Reverse of this. Then north, Racha, they're both green. Kriye, they're both white above your head. Okay, so that's the 5 Dhyana Buddhas. And you don't visualize them so much as away from you, but it's better if you can just put them right around your head, the same way you do when we do the Nungne practice. You can do them with life size, and if that feels better to you, in the 4 directions and above your head. But the mantra is producing the projection, just like you do with the white Tara practice of the 6 eyes and 7 spheres. But this is Om Mani Padme Hum, Duma, Gaia, Hara, Nisa, Racha, Kriye, Soha. So Om Mani Padme Hum and Duma is 1. Gaia is 2, Hara is 3, Nisa is 4, Racha is 5, Kriye is 6. 6 sets of 2 deities. Blue, gold, red and white behind, green to the north or left, above your head both white. It's all about imagination and focus. But the mantra is connecting all of it with the sound of your voice. So all of these individual deities are in union, connected with the vibration of your chant of this Dharani, this healing mantra.
Are you going to give the empowerment?
You got the empowerment with the Chenrezig.
Oh.
The central deity of Chenrezig empowers you to any form. For instance, here's one here, Om Amirani Zawantai Soa, which is a 2-armed Chenrezig that we give empowerment. So any form of Chenrezig. And in this case, any form of the elemental taras. Now we'll say the mantra so you get used to that. And we'll start slowly. You are Chenrezig, Om Mani Padme Hum, in union with red Tara, Duma. In front, Gaia. South, Hara, that's to the right. Behind you, white and red. Nisa, to the north, green. Racha, above your head. Kriye. And then always increasing. Everywhere, expanding to everyone. Soha, Svaha in Sanskrit, Soha. Again, Om Mani Padme Hum, Duma, Gaia, Hara, Nisa, Racha, Kriye, Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum, Duma, Gaya, Hara, Nisa, Racha, Kriya, Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Slowly. Om Mani Padme Hum. That's all 6 rounds. Duma, all the elemental taras in one. Then in union, Hara, Nisa, Racha, Kriya, Mani Padme Hum, Duma, Gaya, Hara, Nisa, Racha, Kriya, Soha, Om Mani Padme Hum, Duma, Gaya, Hara, Nisa, Racha, Kriya, Soha, Om Mani Padme Hum, Duma, Gaya, Hara, Nisa, Racha, Kriya. So, and about all of this is enclosed in the Amitabha Buddha field of infinite light. So these overall energy of, we say, Dewa Chen, mind of bliss. But this is projected to every negative situation in present time, individually and collectively. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Now, each of these, after the Duma, so this is Om Mani Padme Hum Duma, that's all the central one. Then Gaia is the 2 deities. The second syllable is the female. So Gai is male, Ya is female. Ha is male, Ra is female. Ni is male, Sa is female. Ra is male, Cha is female. Shri is male, Ye is female. Soha, all situations, always expanding, timeless. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Hara Nisa Raja Kriye Soha Om Mani Gaya, Hara, Nisa, Raja, Kriye, Soha, Om Mani Padme Hum, Duma Gaya, Hara, Nisa, Raja, Kriye, Soha, Om Mani Padme Hum, Duma Gaya, Hara, Nisa, Raja, Kriye, Soha, Om Mani Padme Duma Gaya Haranisa Raja Kriye Soha. So as you expand your practice, you might start to find that Duma it is the Du is the C syllable and the Yab Yum, the central one. You might find that the Ga and the Ya are the C syllables in the hearts of the deities in front. And Ha and Ra, the C syllables are the one to the right or south. Then Ni, Sa, the ones behind, C syllable. Ra, Cha, then that's the ones to the left, north. Then Hri, Ye is the two deities above it. So male, female, male, female, male, female, male, female, male, female, however you want, or you can say, you can reverse that. But those are the vibratory sounds of those, of the energy of those dhyana Buddha fields in action as these Bodhisattva deities for sure. Everywhere in infinite numbers, heavenly realms, or more God realm, deprived spirit realm, demonic spirit world, human and animal worlds, wherever they appear on planets throughout the universe, any situation. But specifically for us, all the complications that are arising socially, economically, environmentally, harmful. Deal with it. We need help. The spiritual situation on this planet is in dire need of spiritual, skillful means practice. And the Dalai Lama and my teachers recommend that if we can do this practice, it would be very, not only helpful, but appropriate. Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Haranisa Raja Kriye Soha Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Haranisa Raja Kriye Soha Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Haranisa Raja Kriye Soha Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Haranisa Raja Kriye Soha Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Haranisa Raja Kriye Soha Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Haranisa Raja Kriye Soha Om Mani Padme Hum Duma Gaya Haranisa Raja Kriye Soha Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Duma Gaya Haranisa Racha Kriya Soha. Now, all of that is the creation stage of this Dharani and this visualization of Chenrezig and all the Taras and all 5 color codes of the 5 Dhyana Buddhas. Above the head of each of the deities is that Dhyana Buddha. So in the central one, Amitabha, then Akshobhya, Ratnasambhava. Behind is Amoghasiddhi. And then, so each Buddha family is represented. Then the 6th one is all 5 together. So that's Kriya, this one above your head, both deities white. And above their head is the Buddha, Amitabha Buddha, which just means that all of this is a state of infinite light, which is the natural state of everything in the universe. Your mind, everything you think, everything you sense, all of it. Then to end the practice, all the deities come into the central deity. Front, right, behind, left, and above. In the central deity, Yabun Duma merges with Chenrezig. The Du and the Hri come together in the heart center into space. And this 5-colored application is a universal application of all of the wisdom and the nature of the universe itself and all its elemental nature. This is applied to every being in the universe. Then your mind merges with space in the same way you did the elemental practice. You started with space, you went through the 5 elements into space at the middle part, then all the elements ended in space. Just like that, this practice. And you sit in Mahamudra, voidness. No judgment, no meditation. Whatever arises is the nature of energy, light, and space. Totally natural. Natural mind. Free. At the end of this accomplishment stage of voidness, Mahamudra, you again assume the identity projecting as the deity, Chenrezig, or whatever yidam practice you're doing for the interim periods of formal practice. Now, all of this is symbolized in this tanka. Right here in front of the deity is a mirror. And that's the natural state of your mind. Empty. And that's the natural state of your body. Empty. When you move into your next life, this is very practical, this application of the empty mirror. And then to go into action with that as the basis of your practice, which is the nature of space, then you project. And if you've accomplished this Dharani practice, the bardo of becoming is called Dewa Chen, the Deva realm of blissful mind, applied to limitless sentient beings timelessly. No ceiling. No goal. Simply alleviate the pain and suffering of others, and when you can, bring humans to realize their true nature and how to use it. That's Bodhisattva activity. That's bodhicitta. Om mani padme hum. 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 We have some time left to do the long life practice of the two-armed Chenrezig, the red Chenrezig, which was the one behind you. And when you do that practice with a special mantra, you can project it to your cats and animals. Ochis come to class. Om mani padme hum, om mani padme hum, om mani padme hum, om mani padme hum. So this two-armed Chenrezig shows with a vase in his hands, called a bumpa or empowerment vase. Hands in meditation posture, same as Amitabha Buddha. Red in color, 5-jewel crown, legs in full lotus, and two arms. 5 colors of silk, 6 kinds of ornamental jewelry representing 6 bodhisattvas on a sun and moon disk. When you do this practice, you become the red Chenrezig using that visualization holding the empowerment vase. Then, when you say the mantra Om Ami Rani Za, Wen Tai Ye Soha. So again, Om A Mi Ra Ni Za, DZA, that means wealth, good health, Za. Wen Tai Ye, Ye means to everybody, Soha.
You say that one more time.
Om A Mi, M-I, Ra Ni, N-I, Za, DZA, Wen, W-E-N, Tai, Ye, Soha. Om Ami Rani Za Wen Tai Ye Soha. Ye means all pervasive. If you say Ya, that's individually projected. So you could say Om Ami Rani Za Wen Tai Ya Soha. But we're projecting this universally to all 6 realms, just like we do any other practice. And then the offering vase is the wisdom nectar is going out to the dakinis in the 4 directions, and they hold vases, and they're receiving that nectar, and then they visualize pour into your Uma channel, and you fill up your physical form with light. And you visualize that while you're saying this mantra, and then you apply that specifically to beings that you have karma with this life. Automatically, when you say Soha, it goes to all sentient beings. But the way to use this mantra is to project to people that have serious underlying conditions, is the common term today. Well, that's almost everybody. But specifically the ones you have karma with: family, friends, lovers, relatives, enemies, hard to deal with, adversaries, any kind of group that's harmful, socially, and so forth. So sit with your back straight. And this empowerment is, you've received with the Chenrezig empowerment. Om Ahum becomes a free seed syllable. Amitabha sits above your head. Then earth, water, fire, air deities in the 4 directions, 4 tars, standing, holding vases. Then from Amitabha, from Chenrezig's vase goes to theirs, then they pour into you.
Is it Amitabha or Chenrezig?
It's both. It's Amitabha as Chenrezig, Amitabha in action.
Okay.
So it's a very, actually it's our lineage. This originated with Karmapa's lineage.
So he's pouring
Huh?
Amitabha, Chenrezig.
No, this deity, Amitabha as Chenrezig, is holding this offering vase of wisdom nectar. That goes to the 4 dakinis, earth, water, fire, air, and if you can, their color codes. Then they have vases, they fill up he's filling up their vases, then it all goes into your central channel and all through every part of your body. Say nadis, not cells, actually channels of light, 70, 80,000 of them all through your body, running from your chakra energy center.
And from there out?
Then it goes out to all beings you have karma with. Okay. Om Ami Rani Za Wen Tai Soha. 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 ha. Om Ami Rani Zawentaye So 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 Ha. Then the four dakinis come into your heart center, into the free. Then all sentient beings as this deity, an action emanation of Amitabha as the red Chenrezig, all of that comes into the heart center, into the free. The free and five-colored light shrinks to a tiny particle of light and disappears into the boundless light of space in the state of Mahamudra, timeless awareness, blissful, timeless awareness. Stay present and alert. Finish tonight's practice, you reappear as deity Chenrezig or whichever yidam practice you are performing, your choice. I'm going to read Kumpel Naljor's dedication prayer. This is a composition book of aspiration prayers that were sent out by my translator in the 40-month retreat, Lama Kunga. And it has Kala Rinpoche's aspiration prayer, Neguma's aspiration prayer, and Khupo Naljor, who brought the teachings to Tibet of the Shenpa lineage, which is my root Lama Kala Rinpoche's lineage. I'm going to read this. It goes like this. And by the way, aspiration prayers are together with dedication prayers and Tashi prayers is the 9th level of Bodhisattva practice, blending with timeless awareness of the Mahamudra phase of skillful means. Lords of the Dharma, the 3 bodies and the 10 levels, lamas, dakinis, Dharma protectors, and all who through love sit in witness to this dedication prayer. Whatever white and virtuous deeds that I have done in this and other lives with my body, speech, and mind be for the benefit of all beings. May my afflictive emotions rise up as the path and the motive for spiritual practice. May all appearances be brought under control. May I discover the 3 bodies of the Buddha for my own benefit and accomplish the Dharmakaya for the benefit of others. May the 2 form bodies produce great ways of benefit for others, such as until samsara is empty, may I display whatever is necessary and appropriate in the way of beneficent activity in order to attain beings. May the time come when I have students. May I master the operations of tendrils. May those who have connection with me benefit. May the ocean of samsara be completely empty. May I now obtain the Dharmakaya of the luminous radiance of the nature of mind and everything. Just as the Buddhas of the 3 times have all made their dedications, prayers of aspiration, and so forth, may my own dedication and this aspiration prayers be accomplished. Until I have attained Buddhahood, may I be a Dharma practitioner of good family, vigilant, disciplined, healthy, and with clear senses. May I be esteemed by all. May all hopes and desires be fulfilled. Until I actually become enlightened and mature in the human condition, may all illness, negative influences, obstructions, harm from humans, wild animals, demonic spirits, and the 4 elements be completely pacified. May my life and merit reach maturity. May glory and wealth increase. Fame and renown become equal to the sky. May all that I do with my body, speech, and mind always be of a benefit to all creatures and appropriate to the world around me. Having said this, may this ocean of samsara be right now be emptied, and perfect bodhisattvahood be attained. Kewa di nirduda, shagya champo drugyerne, jowa chinging malupa, dei sala goparsho, sanjay kusu nempai jamladam, shoni megur nempai jamladam, kendu miche dumpai jamlaki, chitar goma molam juparsho. May this virtue of having realized Mahamudra, may I quickly establish all beings without a single exception in that state, by the blessings of the 3 bodies of the Buddha being accomplished, by the blessing of the truth of this Dharma being unchanging, and by the blessing of the wishes of the Sangha being unwavering. May this and all dedication prayers be fulfilled. Aloha and Tashi Delay. Mahalo.
Thank you.